The internet tells me that typical American food is hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, clam chowder, and apple pie. Whether you agree or not, hold that thought because Germany also has an opinion. As you can see, German supermarkets have a slightly different definition of what is considered typical American food.
What's up everybody? We are Deanna and Phil. Deanna's from the United States and I'm from Germany. We are currently living in Düsseldorf, Germany, and in this video we're gonna try typical American food according to Germany.
As a German, this first item is something that seems super American to me. I've only seen those on YouTube or from American media.
Hold on, this fight could last more than 12 hours. What if we run out of food? Ma'am, more Hot Pockets!
So when we saw this pizza pocket in the frozen section, we had to buy it. A Hot Pocket is a folded dough filled with meat, cheese and some vegetables. They are designed to be a quick and convenient snack. Because we do not have a microwave in our apartment, we are heating these up in the oven. Don't worry, the instructions said we can. And around 15 minutes later, these chili con carne pockets are ready to enjoy.
Here they are. Look at these things, they come in these little packages.
You can pull these things and you have your nice little pocket. Hot Pocket is the brand that I grew up with in the US and it's very, very common. You don't have those as much here, right?
No, I'm just gonna pull mine out fully here. It's a nice little fold. Let's see how good that is. I like this type of pizza panini bread.
I'm not gonna lie, the dough is a lot crispier, probably because we used an oven instead of a microwave. We weirdly do not have a microwave.
It sounds like you're blaming us for using an oven instead of a microwave. Using the oven should be better. I think they're freaking awesome.
If we lived in the US, I swear to cow, he would eat all of the American junk food.
I like the dough, it's like very pizza-y. This is better dough than what you get from Domino's in the US.
I think that's gonna trigger some people.
7.5 out of 10.
No way.
Yeah.
I would give this like a 5 out of 10.
Ooh, yes, America.
So growing up in the southeast of the USA, I would argue that American barbecue should be near the top of the list for typical American food. When I think of American barbecue, I think of beef ribs, pulled pork sandwiches, and yummy, yummy sides. But I've noticed a few American barbecue meatball variations here in Germany, so we're giving this barbecue meatball with rice dish a try. Yes, we are using the German Wasserbad method of cooking this. I don't think this is explicitly German, but when I first saw Phil's family cooking rice in plastic bags and boiling water, I lost the ability to breathe for a moment. Wasserbad literally translates to water bath. It's a method of cooking food, and for this meatball and rice meal, it needed to hang out in the pot for 20 minutes in hot water, but not boiling. And wow, sehr einfach. Now it's ready to enjoy.
And it looks absolutely fantastic. Excited to try this because American barbecue became probably my favorite type of cuisine, or one of my favorites definitely. The best meat I had was probably at Bobby's Barbecue, where we had this big tomahawk steak from the beef. And I wonder, is that gonna be still the best? Or will this dethrone it here?
I don't know. It looks like one of these frozen, microwavable meals, but it was not in the frozen section. This was in just the dry section.
So we have 5 meatballs in this dish. There's rice. The rice looks very dry, but somehow seasoned. And there's also some sweet corn in the rice. American barbecue at its finest.
So I'm gonna be honest, in Germany, they advertise a lot of barbecue meatballs American style. And last time we had this can and I said I'd never heard of barbecue meatballs before, some people commented it's from the Midwest. I didn't know that there was barbecue meatballs. Good to know.
So this is one of the cases that tastes worse than it smells.
Oh, no way.
It's not that good.
Good thing I'm trying this now.
I am familiar that America eats a lot of meatballs, but when I think meatballs in America, I A, think of meatball subs. I also think B, spaghetti with meatballs. Tomato sauce and meatballs, and I think that's just crazy.
I grew up with the spaghetti with meatballs. We made that often.
Yeah, but why not bolognese? Anyway,
more fun.
That's a discussion for another day. This style with barbecue, at least this quality is really bad. And maybe there's a pattern here that Germany, these American label things, they're very cheap.
Yeah, they're very cheap and microwavable and often at the discounters. And this is also pork meat, not beef. A lot of the meatballs in Germany are often with pork.
But after that great start, I think this is took a very hard turn. This is a 2 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I would never get this again. This is like a 0 out of 10 for me. It just looks interesting on the packaging, so I'm often enticed to buy it.
2 out of 10.
All right, next.
Very, very bad.
After meeting Deanna, visiting the USA and experiencing some American holidays, I learned that Americans are obsessed with s'mores, especially during the 4th of July. So here in Germany, a lot of the pre-packaged marshmallows are labeled as American. Deanna insisted on getting this tub of marshmallow cream with the Statue of Liberty on it, and apparently this is a more fluid version of a marshmallow meant for spreading on bread, I guess.
Okay, this next one is something I grew up with all the time in the US. It's just pretty much like this marshmallowy paste thing. It's so gooey and you spread it on a lot of things. I'm curious what you think. I have two different versions here. I did one on a standard American white bread slice. They call it Toastbrot here in Germany, just with fluff on it.
Yeah, and to me as a German, marshmallows super American. Like in all the movies, they show marshmallows grilling over the campfire, stuff like that.
It's ironic because I think it's a French origin, but I feel like America just branded it with s'mores and stuff, right?
Yeah, I love s'mores. We do not have that many marshmallows growing up here. And this stuff, I wasn't aware of that there's like a spread, like, okay.
Try it. No?
The stale bread, very bad. Stuff on there, a little better than I expected. I think I might like that better than a normal
sweet
marshmallow. Because to be honest, I'm not a huge marshmallow fan. But I'm open to this.
This is like the best part of the marshmallow. When you make s'mores and the marshmallow just starts oozing, that's what this is in a jar.
Yeah, but the best part of the s'more is the chocolate, so I kind of feel like I want to put Nutella on this.
Yeah, so the second thing we did often was either put fluff with Nutella or fluff with peanut butter. Because we do not keep Nutella in this household, we just have peanut butter in this household, so I decided to toast this and make it with peanut butter.
This thing, let's see. That's 10 times better.
Right? Now put Nutella, peanut butter, and fluff on it. Amazing.
That's where the US goes overboard. It's either Nutella and the fluff or peanut butter and the fluff.
Put them all together.
Wow, this turns it all around. First I thought this is disgusting, this with the white bread untoasted, but this thing makes it like 7 out of 10.
I would put this an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
because this is so nostalgic for me, and I love peanut butter and fluff together.
Is this healthy?
No, it's all sugar. None of this is healthy. Come on now.
Typical American.
So good.
Very unhealthy, pretty good.
For the next item, we are going state specific. Sometimes German supermarkets get tired of labeling things as just American. They need to go deeper. At grocery stores here in Germany, I've seen Maryland nuts, Mississippi barbecue sauce, South Carolina style pasta salad, and even Florida ice cream. But this one Louisiana Cajun chicken style pasta box really caught my eye. So hey, some may find these products offensive, but I find them entertaining enough to want to try some of these interesting dishes. We're going to another state right now. We're going to Louisiana, trying Louisiana Cajun chicken style with pasta.
That is a very fancy description for what we have on the plate here, because this is probably not what the pride of Louisiana looks like. Looks again like a very cheap cantina youth hostel.
Yeah.
Let's make food in a huge batch, make it as cheap as possible thing. But we'll see.
Give it a try.
I love Cajun taste, so.
Yeah, I've been to Louisiana a few times, New Orleans, and then some other cities in the state.
It's kind of sweet. What is happening?
Really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
He keeps eating it, so maybe he likes it. I've never seen Louisiana Cajun chicken pasta in a takeaway box before, so.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me a bit of Jollibee spaghetti, because that is the only time where I ate pasta or spaghetti with slightly sweet flavor.
I don't know. There's nothing about Louisiana or Cajun chicken to me on this plate. It's not good, but it's not horrible.
That's true. Yeah,
I don't know what to give this.
I give this a 6 out of 10. I think it's growing on me a little bit. It's not that bad.
I was gonna give it a 5. Like, it's not great, but it's not horrible.
Moving on.
When I think of America, I think of donuts. And then I think of policemen. And then I think of donuts again. It seems like aside from regular donuts, there have been a lot of American donut-shaped products, like these chicken donuts. But take a look at this. Did they go too far with this 620-gram boxed donut torte? For the Americans out there, that is 1.3 pounds of boxed cake right there, probably turning into a 4-pound cake in the end. So my American wife is going to make this donut cake, and we will see if it is as pretty as the box picture.
Phil really wanted to get this. I don't know why, but we're gonna give it a try. I've never made a boxed cake in Germany. I think I've made boxed brownies once before, but we're gonna go for it. The nice thing is they literally label everything. So this is like Backmischung. Yeah, so following these instructions, we started to prepare the cake batter, adding yeast, butter, and water. However, this required a little more kneading than I was used to.
This box says you're supposed to rip it open by hand. Make it look like a donut.
Let's rip this open.
Look like a donut.
I know, I'm so curious. It should rise decently, right? Is that a big enough hole?
You tell me.
So we'll let this sit for an hour, come back to it. We'll see if this looks like the box or not. 1 hour later, and it looked exactly the same. But we baked it anyways, and prepared the filling. This required a lot of Schlagsahne, or whipped cream. After a few minutes myself, I called in the experienced creamer for assistance. The donut cake base was baking to an oh-so-familiar sight, and the powdered sugar icing was easy enough to prepare, although I think I used a little too much water. All right, let's see how our little donut cake turned out. Whoa, it looks like a butt. After baking, I let the cake cool down, although I think Phil had other plans.
Oh no, sir, no, please.
All right, the moment of truth, we're gonna assemble it and see if it looks beautiful. Like a donut. And slowly but surely, we began to see a donut torta forming. Can't forget to lick the spoon. When I think of boxed cakes, I think of easy, fast, and convenient. The time it took to make this donut cake, I could have made another one from scratch. But let's see if this was worth it. I did use too much water with the powdered sugar icing. I should have added a little more powdered sugar so it wouldn't run as much. But honestly, I see a melted donut cake. Now the question is, does it taste any good?
Alright, this is either gonna be a highlight of this video or the worst one, but damn, this is a monstrosity of a donut cake, I guess.
It's a little thin, the pink powdered sugar part.
Yeah, what's not thin is the filling. Man, that's a thick filling of vanilla. Gotta go into it, this is a mess.
Okay.
This tastes really good. To be honest, it looked crap till the very end when we put the glazing on it. Then it started looking like a donut. Yeah. And the best part is this vanilla custard.
Yeah, the vanilla inside is really good.
You can get me with vanilla custard anytime.
Not bad.
It's definitely a cake. And to be honest, this might be better than most of the donuts in Germany. This thing weighs 4 pounds.
It's so heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
This turned out really well. To be honest, I had zero expectations for this. Then during the cooking, I was like, this is gonna be horrible. But in the end, it turned around and this is a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I just wish I put a little less liquid into the powdered sugar pink topping and it would turn a little prettier out, but...
Yeah. What I wonder is if the German average lady goes shopping, let's say in the countryside, and they're like, oh, look at this. Donut torte. That's what the Americans must do.
It's kind of a fun gimmick though. Honestly, for having a party, I'd be like, look at this cake. It's ridiculous. It's kind of fun.
All right. Donut cake, awesome.
And before we continue to the next very American items, we ask you to please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. If you'd like to further support us, you can do that at patreon.com/DeanA'sPhil. And a shout out to our family tier patrons: Ethan Mitchell, Heather Kuffner, Hessen Metro, Tarek Malkosh, Ushi Izart, Lee Lim, Jessica Saransak, Debbie and Ray Gordon, and Jamie DeVries. Thank you. Vielen Dank.
If we're going state specific, a lot of Germans know states like New York, California, the Florida Man State, or Texas. Texas is to the USA as Bavaria is to Germany, the stereotypical representation of the entire country. And this right here is a Texas Topf from a German discounter store. Topf or Eintopf translates to pot or stew. This one says mit Kidneybohnen und Jagdwurst, zubereitet mit Zwiebeln, Karotten, grünen Bohnen und Paprika. So it's basically a kidney bean stew with onions, carrots, green beans and paprika, and probably super Texan pork mortadella. Yeehaw! Also, a German nutrition score of an A, so this has not to be only delicious, but also healthy, right?
And what the world associates with Texas or Tex-Mex food is kidney beans, I think.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking barbecue immediately.
Barbecue was fairly new to me, to be honest. American barbecue. In Germany, at least, not such a known thing.
Really? So kidney beans are more associated with Texas and Germany?
Yeah. So this is basically a kidney bean stew. These things have been selling for a long, long time. Every supermarket has that. So here we go. I'm gonna taste Texas on a spoon here. It's so piping hot. Yeah. It's good.
It's good,
like
really?
I had these before. If you like beans, you like kidney beans, you like these stews, there's carrots in there. It's a little bit spicier, more flavored than the usual German palate, so maybe that's a good thing, you know? Let me just ask you this, you've been to Texas, right? How popular is like chili con carne down there?
I think it's fairly popular. Like whenever I go, I always eat a lot of tacos, a lot of Mexican food, and a lot of barbecue. I lived in Austin for a summer internship.
I think for me, that's 6 out of 10.
Yeah, if I was sick, I think I would enjoy this. I would give this like a 6 out of 10.
If I was sick, this would be okay.
I don't know why I always
Alright.
associated like canned soup with being sick.
Time to leave Texas.
I would say the modern version of a cheeseburger feels very American. The ground beef patty, the melted cheese, topped with pickles, lettuce, tomato, and a soft bun. I'm drooling at the thought. Well, the next item is cheeseburger balls. Pretty much the same thing, right? Honestly, the idea of loading up cheeseburger flavors in a fried ball seems like something I'd see at a South Carolina state fair. So let's see how good these balls taste in our mouth.
I am so excited to try these things. Look at that, we set it up nicely with ketchup, because tomato ketchup goes obviously with cheeseburgers. I'm a big fan of the cheeseburger. Probably the best American export to the world that we have. Okay, first no ketchup. We'll try it. What the hell is that?
That doesn't taste cheeseburger at all.
First, I think it tastes almost a little bit like chili again, like chili con carne.
Yeah.
With this minced meat stuff. But then there's a hint of onion or pickle, so it turns a little bit towards the cheeseburger flavor later. Initially a little disappointing. I'm gonna try with ketchup, because with ketchup, everything is better, right?
Everything's better with ketchup.
Everything's better with ketchup. And it is.
Just sugar. It's just like tomato sugar.
Also barely cheese, I think more cheese.
Yeah, I think the typical American cheeseburger ball would have way more cheese in it. There's like barely any in here. I just also think this is pretty mediocre. I would give this like a 4 out of 10.
I agree. The balls itself a little disappointing. I think 4 out of 10, but with the ketchup, it brings them to a 6 out of 10. It's just good enough to keep eating, you know? This is what the Americans eat. You shall do so too.
We eat cheeseburger balls every day. Mac and cheese, my guilty pleasure, full of nostalgia and overindulgence. Here in Germany, we've tried American-style box mac and cheese balls, and mac and cheese pizza. But we've never tried mac and cheese chips. So let's see how these Ruffle mac and cheese style chips taste. I feel like mac and cheese is very American. It's a type of dish that I don't really see in a lot of other places throughout the world.
Look at this picture. You have the mac and cheese there, and there you see how it turns into chips, and it's nicely divided by this American flag. Nutri-Score D, which means not healthy.
Germans like to criticize and rate everything, so that feels typical. I saw this and I was excited. Standard Ruffle style potato chip. Let's give it a try.
Here we go.
Holy smokes. They literally accomplished the mac and cheese dust onto a chip.
It's like the Cheeto dust, right?
Yeah, but mac and cheese, like the
Yeah,
mac and cheese
yeah.
powdered dust on here.
I'm a big fan of these ruffled potato chips, not the flat ones. So this is kind of like good.
It's accomplished its mission. However, I think I need to eat just like a small handful of these and I'll be over it.
I feel like they're quite the opposite.
Wait, really?
I feel like initial flavor is like, ooh, it's so artificial, and then it mixes in your mouth and the cheese flavor comes through. It tastes like mac and cheese. I'm like, hell yeah. The more I eat, the better it gets.
That's exactly it. You eat one of these and your saliva mixed with it turns into a little mac and cheese puddle in your mouth and then you swallow it.
9 out of 10.
Oh my God. I can't. I think I would give this a 5. It's pretty middle.
10 out of 10.
this item might just be the saddest thing or the most incredible discovery. We found this spicy barbecue noodle cup. These 5-minute cups are usually Asian or Italian cuisine, but this one is spicy American barbecue. The only preparation for this was boiling water to the line and waiting 5 minutes for it to turn into this beautiful, exquisite American noodle cup.
And smell it.
Ooh.
It smells a little bit like, you know, if like Chef Boyardee made barbecue flavored, it smells like that. I'll let you try it first.
I don't know what words you just said. And also in German it says pasta in a smoky sauce.
It smells like a lot of smoked paprika, so I'm curious.
It tastes slightly better than it smells.
Really? Because it smells pretty potent.
I see what they're doing there. It's like the typical cheap, quick to make 5-minute cup. Actually, not that bad.
I'm gonna be honest, it does taste better than it smells, only slightly. Also, it says spicy barbecue. This is not spicy at all, but I could see from the German palate saying it's spicy.
Compared to a tomato sauce, a Napoli standard tomato sauce, it is a little bit spicier, like a little peppery, you know?
I don't think I will ever get this again, but it was so fun to try because it looks so appealing. I don't know why this stuff appeals to me.
I actually do think that the pasta in this one is fairly decent for these cups.
Yeah.
So overall, I give this a 4.5. 4.5 out of 10.
I think that's generous. I can't rate it.
Last but potentially not least, we are ending with Phil's favorite type of dessert, ice cream, but in donut shapes. I wasn't lying when I told you there are many American advertised donut-shaped products here in Germany.
Look how tiny they are, and they are on a little wooden stick. You gotta end food with ice cream, right? This is kind of cute, kind of fun.
Yeah. Don't break my donut. Not as good as a Magnum, right?
I'm a huge ice cream fan. And this is slightly disappointing. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but if you look at this, standard vanilla ice cream on the inside, chocolate, pretty dark chocolate. And then there is these like sugar sprinkles in the chocolate glazing. And that is, I think, what makes it less good, the chocolate sprinkles.
Phil is an ice cream person. He could eat ice cream every day.
This dessert is unfortunately the biggest disappointment for me.
Really?
Yeah, I was the most excited for this because it's just ice cream and you have to end food with ice cream, like I love it. But these are very underwhelming. That's unfortunate because they're also very cute on the stick, but nah.
Donut ice cream cake, bootyful.
So like always, there was a lot of fun. We gathered these items over the last couple of weeks and months. Whenever we see something marketed as American, we think, hey, let's get it, let's try it out. The expectations are not high, but
I really like trying these things.
yeah, it's just funny to see what the media or the food industry wants to tell you what is American or not.
It's the marketing team. Let us know what typical American food you like to eat, and as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
10 out of 10.
Here.
If you don't have a rice cooker, you can do that. It works pretty well. 10 out of 10.